You don't miss them. You miss who you were allowed to be when nothing was demanded of you. That's the lie running quietly in your head. You call it love. You call it connection. But what you're protecting is a version of yourself that never had to stand alone. You replay conversations not to remember them, but to avoid the silence that followed. You say you're healing. What you're actually doing is delaying the moment you have no one left to blame. This isn't about forgetting someone. It's about what remains when the distraction is gone. Two questions are already open in your mind. Why does thinking about them still control your behavior? And why do you feel smaller without their absence noticing you? This video isn't here to comfort you. It's here to remove something you've been hiding behind. You wake up and your first thought isn't them. It's the space where they used to sit. That's important because the pain doesn't come from loss. It comes from exposure. You notice how often your decisions were shaped around being seen, how your energy rose when attention arrived, how discipline weakened when someone else carried emotional weight for you. You tell yourself you're overthinking, you're not. You're finally thinking without anesthesia. You scroll, you distract. You imagine scenarios where closure arrives cleanly and on time. But closure isn't something you receive, it's something you stop asking for. Here's what you don't say out loud. Without them, your routines feel pointless. Your standards feel heavier. Your future feels less narrated. Not because they were special, but because they absorbed responsibility you hadn't reclaimed. You weren't attached to them. You were attached to relief. Relief from choosing. Relief from confronting your own inconsistency. Relief from the question, what am I doing with my time when no one is watching? So you revisit memories, not to honor them, but to avoid answering that question. You say you want peace, but peace requires clarity, and clarity removes excuses. This is why you feel watched when you're alone, why small tasks feel heavier, why your mind keeps negotiating with the past. Nothing is wrong with you, but something has been left unclaimed. There are rules that apply whether you like them or not. First law, anything that controls your emotions controls your behavior. If thinking about someone alters your discipline, they still own part of you. Second law, pain persists when attention is undisciplined. What you revisit mentally, you reauthorize. Third law, you do not move on by removing thoughts. You move on by removing permission. Fourth law, if your identity requires being chosen, it is unstable. Stability comes from self-direction, not validation. Fifth law, grief lasts longer when it doubles as nostalgia. Separate what happened from what you avoided becoming. Sixth law, no feeling deserves unlimited airtime. Time must be earned through usefulness. Seventh law, control returns when routines are non-negotiable, not productive, non-negotiable. Eighth law, you don't need distance from them. You need authority over your inner dialogue. Ninth law, if a memory weakens your standards, it is not sacred. It is a liability. 10th law, silence is not empty. It is where command is rebuilt. You don't argue with these laws. You observe their effects. Apply them and something uncomfortable happens. Your days become quieter. Your excuses become obvious. Your emotions stop negotiating for attention, not relief. Control. There are two versions of you standing here. One waits for emotional neutrality before acting. The other acts and lets emotions follow. One avoids reminders. The other neutralizes their impact through structure. One asks, why do I still feel this? The other asks, what requires execution today? The difference isn't strength. Its orientation. The first lives reactively, days shaped by internal weather, energy spent managing feelings. The second lives directionally, days shaped by obligation, feelings treated as data, not orders. When you stop orbiting a person, something else demands gravity. Your time, your standards, your unanswered potential. This life is heavier. It requires earlier mornings, cleaner commitments, less explanation. You won't feel over them. You'll feel occupied by something more demanding, not happier, more exact. And that precision removes room for longing to roam. You don't overcome someone by erasing them. You overcome them by becoming unreachable to the version of you that needed them. The mind doesn't obey wishes. It obeys structure. If you leave gaps, the past will fill them. If you leave standards undefined, memory will rewrite them. This ends when you stop asking how to feel and start deciding how to act. No ceremony, no declaration, no moment of emotional clarity, just a quiet shift in authority. The final truth is simple and uncomfortable. What you call attachment is often a refusal to fully assume control of your life. And control doesn't announce itself. It shows up as consistency day after day until the question stops appearing. Final line, you don't move on when it stops hurting.